Hello, fellow witches and wizards. My name is PheonixGinny, and welcome to my next speed build. Welcome to uh, my Ryokan Komorebi. I apologize for the not so great mic quality. If you are aware or unaware, I I've been trying to use the program Audacity to make my commentary for my videos, and it works great. But I have a hard time lining it up with the video, and I'm not sure what the problem is. I'm not sure if the bitrate is off or whatever, and I'll explain that further when I actually do my commentary for my next True Fear Forsaken Souls Part 2 video, since I recorded that and I couldn't get the commentary to line up with the video no matter how hard I tried. So, but I'll explain it more then, or I might explain it more now because I have a 35-minute video to make commentary for, and I might run out of things to talk about. So, but anyway, I apologize for that. You can probably hear my fan in the background. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I can't seem to use Audacity the way that I want to. Not easily, anyway. So, I also apologize if I am not as peppy as normal, as I normally am during these videos. I am feeling under the weather. I am having stomach issues, and so it's hard for me to be super energetic right now, but the show must go on. I don't want to put off my videos any longer, so I'm doing it anyway. But hi, welcome to my speed build. I am making, right, you can watch me here, I'm making a Ryokan inspired, it was the very first thing I thought of when Snowy Escape. The Sims 4 Mount Komorebi. No, The Sims 4 Snowy Escape first came out. I was like, I gotta make a Ryokan. That was the very first thing I wanted to do when I saw the furniture for this pack. I really, I'm a huge fan of the Nancy Drew games, and one of the games is Nancy Drew Shadow at the Water's Edge, and Nancy goes to a Ryokan in that game. And so this particular Ryokan is heavily inspired by that, because I've never seen a Ryokan before. I'd never even heard of a Ryokan until I played that game. If you've never heard of a Ryokan, I will explain what that is right now. It is a traditional Japanese inn. It's a hotel, but it's very different from a hotel. It's often not a place that you, it's a place that you go to on purpose. It's not like a normal hotel where you stop to stay there just because you need a place to stay in the area. It's often like the destination, like you go because you want to experience a Ryokan. It's very Eastern, and it's very, it doesn't have the normal Western comforts, though, as you will see. This particular Ryokan does. It is not strictly traditional because I needed to add more stuff to it. I needed to figure out what more to put in it because it's quite big, and I just needed to add more to it. So it's not strictly traditional, and it probably doesn't look anything like an actual Japanese Ryokan, but a traditional Japanese Ryokan is very primitive. It's the purpose of it is to maintain the traditions that it's had for generations. So it's passed down from mother to oldest daughter for generations. So things are the way that they would have been centuries ago. With some updates. I mean, a lot of them have, things like electricity and indoor, central air and things like that, and it'll have computers for like, booking guests and stuff. It'll have stuff like that, but usually it'll have like the same sort of living quarters. It'll have the same kind of beds you'd sleep on, and the same food that you'd eat, and the same kind of service you'd get. It's usually known for having really good service. It's known for being taken, the caretaking is done by families, and they're very welcoming, and they cater to you, and they're very kind, serving people typically. And I have never been to a Ryokan, and there's probably a lot of inconsistencies with mine. I am not Japanese, and I have very little experience with Japan. What I've done here is strictly what I know from Nancy Drew. Yeah, so what I have here is essentially a Japanese-inspired hotel with a garden in the center. A lot of ryokans don't look like this. They don't have, beautiful indoor gardens, or it's actually not indoor, it's actually outdoor. But anyway, the ryokan in Nancy Drew is, it has a huge garden in the center. And what I know about ryokans doesn't just come from the Nancy Drew game. I also watch Gab Smulders, Jacksepticeye's girlfriend. She also does YouTube, and she does Twitch streams, and so she played Nancy Drew, Shout at the Water's Edge, and she lived, I don't know if she grew up there, but she's lived in Japan, and so she speaks Japanese, and she knows about ryokans, and so she said that the game was very accurate. But what I know also about ryokans comes from her. And so she has said a lot of ryokans don't actually come with those beautiful gardens. If it does, like, you hit the jackpot. Like, it's not that they don't, it's just traditionally they don't. But the really nice, expensive ones might. Another thing about ryokans is they also have hot springs, which is something that comes with this No Escape pack. So I have some hot springs in this ryokan. I think ryokans usually only have like one hot spring, maybe. I don't actually know about that, but I put 2 in because they're often traditionally gendered. Usually, men stay in... If there's one hot spring, they alternate between genders. Like at one point, all the men can enjoy the onsen or hot spring, and then at another point, the women can enjoy the hot spring. But this space and this ryokan that I built was so big, I thought we could have 2 hot springs, and one can be for women and another can be for men. So that's what I've done here. And what you can see me doing right now is building the bathroom, and I have to say, that is the most fun I've ever had building a bathroom. I just love how detailed it is, how all the stuff that I put in it, the colors, and I got to use all the new furniture and the new showers and stuff. I had a really fun time making the bathrooms for this build. So yes, they're separated by male and female. Traditionally, and I did it that way because traditionally that is how it's done in Japan, if there's only one hot spring, they'll alternate between genders, and they'll let you know at what time what gender can use the hot spring, because traditionally you do it naked, is why. Like, and as you'll know, there's traditions in the game itself where it's frowned upon not to shower before you go into the onsen in this game, which is true in real life. It's also frowned upon if you don't get naked getting into the hot springs. As odd as that is, I feel like, especially in Western culture, it'd be the opposite. Like, you'd be like an absolute freak if you did it naked. But in the East, anybody who's been to an onsen, yes, you're supposed to do it naked, and that's why they separate it by genders. So that is the way it is here at this ryokan. I'm working on the girls' bathroom right here, and there is a men's bathroom on the other end. And they both get their own hot springs, so they don't have to wait. They have their own hot spring, so they can go in anytime they like. But I know that in this game, there's a lot of people that prefer not to make things gendered, which I understand. A lot of people like to play with the walls down, and so they don't necessarily see the door, what gender it is, and so they click to have their sim go to that particular bathroom, and their sim won't go, and they're like, oh, because it's the wrong gender or whatever. If you can definitely change the genders, you can change those doors to regular doors, you can do what you want to do. It's not a big deal. If you choose to take this build, you can go ahead and change it however you like. I just chose it to do it this way because that's traditionally how it's done, and for me personally, I prefer traditional gameplay. And speaking of which, you can take any of my builds and do whatever you like with them. I'm actually interested. If you like building, if you take any of my builds and you fix them up or make them your own, please show them to me. You can tag me on Twitter. Please let me know on Twitter. Send it to me. My Twitter, I showed you my Twitter handle at the beginning of the video, but my Sims 4 gallery ID, which will appear right now, is PheonixGinny, and you can go ahead and grab this build right now. It's actually been on the gallery for quite a while. I just haven't posted the video yet. But if you would like to see this particular build, make sure that you check the box on the left-hand side that allows you to see custom content, because there's one custom content item in this game. So like a year or so back, I went through and got a ton of custom content for my game. And so I got this pack that was entirely Japanese inspired. So I had some Japanese furniture in my game long before this pack came out. And there's this beautiful mirror in the shape of a fan that's just beautiful, and it just fit. I needed something to go above the beds in all the rooms, and it fit perfectly. And it's the only custom content item. I forget who made it, but I do linger on it in the video. I'm not sure how long. I'll have to look out for that, but I do linger on the name of it in the video if you want to see where I got it. So you can get it for yourself. If I don't think it's long enough, if I don't linger on it long enough in this video, I might let you know in the description of this video where I got that particular custom content. That is quite beautiful. But yeah, so there's that. So make sure you check the box when you go looking for this particular build on my channel, on my gallery page. So this is considered a rental lot. That's what I made it. You can make it whatever you like. But I figured that was the best way to make it practical. So there aren't hotels in the game. That'd be really cool to have someday. I hope that they do that. That's probably like my number one wish for right now. That's the number one thing that I want for this game at this point. But there's 8 rooms and they're all double beds. See, that's the thing also about this pack is everything, it has beautiful Japanese furniture, but technically Japanese furniture, a lot of the stuff that you repose on is closer to the ground. Their beds are actually mats on the ground. Their tables and chairs are actually like pillows and cushions on the ground. As you'll see with the I don't know what that's called, the table with the blanket, the table with the heating blanket that they sit at, that's technically all of their furniture from what I understand. And so the beds aren't traditional, which is kind of annoying, which I get because they didn't want to animate that. That's a whole separate animation to get into bed if they did that, but if they made the beds lower to the ground. But all the rooms have double beds. Also, this place isn't really like child friendly. I mean, you could, it's a rental lot. So what's going to happen is your family is going to get the whole Ryokan to themselves, which I hate. Like, if it was an actual hotel, I would love to have multiple Sims. But what you could do is you could make 8 random Sims and have them all stay here. And they can all have their own room, and you could have kids come here. There's nothing preventing kids. Like, I wouldn't recommend toddlers because there isn't anything for toddlers here. But children can stay in the beds, and But it was mostly made for adults in mind, so there's only, adult double beds. But there's 8 of them, so you could potentially have, I mean, you could have 16 Sims if you wanted. That's not really what the game allows, but I mean, you can. You can have mods and stuff and have 16 Sims stay here if you like. Um, but, uh, but 8 Sims, you can definitely have 8 Sims here, and it's set up like a hotel. Yeah, even though it's not technically a hotel, it's a rental. There's also not a whole lot of things to do at this. I didn't really know what else to put in it. I don't know what comes with Ryokans, but I mean, there's the hot springs, and I made this beautiful garden in the center, which you will see very soon. But there's also like a pond in the garden, and it's actually a swimming pool, and I believe your Sims can swim in it. I haven't tested that, but I kind of left room for them to get in and get out, and left like swimming room. So if you have a couple that comes, like they can't both go into the hot springs together, assuming that they're opposite genders, they can't, be together in the hot springs, but they can be together in the pool. So if you want stuff for your couples to do together, that would make sense. Of course, if you want them to use the hot spring, you can remove the door, or change it so that they can both use the hot spring. This is me currently making the garden. I am trying to make a bridge. I wish you could make actual functioning bridges in this game. You can't. It's pretty much making a platform and then disguising the edge, essentially. But still, it looks really nice. You're really going to enjoy it. Stick around for the end. There will be screenshots. So yeah, and it took me several tries to get this stupid pool slash pond to work. To work the way that I wanted it to. Right now it's just a fountain, and then I realized I think I want it to be a pool. But like I said, there isn't a ton of things to do. There's TVs in every room. That's something that you will not find, I believe, in a traditional Ryokan. I believe that they don't have TVs in rooms because that's kind of a Western thing. I think. I could be wrong about that. But I really just like the rooms were like empty, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So like I put a TV. So I put a TV in every room. And there's also a table and chairs. It looks like a hotel room. It's pretty, like, generic, but still full of, like, typical furniture that you'd see in a normal hotel room. It also has, like, those hot plates or katatsu thingies or something. I don't know. Those little hot plates that you can have. Each room has one. I have no idea how those work. I don't know if those require kitchen counters or whatever, but each room has one. I don't even know what you can make with those. I haven't yet made those in the game. I haven't played with this pack very much. So I don't even know if it was even worth putting one in every room, but I assumed it was like, I mean, I kind of use it like a coffee pot. I know it's not actually a coffee pot. You don't actually make coffee with it, but you know how hotel rooms always have like, some of them have microwaves and they have like coffee pots or hot water makers or whatever, So I put something in there in case you didn't want to eat in the public area. There is a public kitchen area with the table on the floor with the hot blanket. I don't know what that's called. There's that, so you can eat there. There is a kitchen, a fully functional kitchen there, or you can just eat in your room with that little hot plate thing. I don't know if that's how it works. I don't know. This is me making a cute little rock garden. That is why they give you these rocks and these sand floor pieces, is because something that the Japanese do are rock gardens, and there's actually a lot of history and tradition and meaning that goes with these rock gardens. Not this particular rock garden. I just made it this way because I thought it looked nice. But usually they actually, like, each rock has a name and a meaning, and the placement that is put in the arrangement actually has meaning, and like a flower arrangement, sort of. There's actually there's like a focal point, and you have the rock that goes in the back and at the sides. And anyway, if you play Nancy Drew Shout Out the Water's Edge, you learn about these things. I couldn't tell you what any of them mean exactly. I know there's like a heart stone and a body stone and a soul stone and probably a mind stone and like a strength stone. I forget exactly, but the stones actually mean something, and they're arranged on purpose. Mine aren't, but usually that's how rock gardens work. And so I think it's really cool that they give us those rocks and those sand pieces. What else? What else? So yeah, there isn't a whole lot for kids to do specifically, but they could swim in this pool, and honestly, that's the way hotels are anyway. Like, isn't that the most exciting part about a hotel when you're a kid? Is does it have a pool? That's something like me. Like I grew up in the military, so I've moved around a lot, and so a lot of long car trips. And I've stayed in a lot of hotels in my upbringing, and that was like the one thing that we looked forward to. Like, are we going to a hotel? Does this hotel have a pool? That's always the fun thing. So this hotel does have a pool and a very beautiful garden, and your kids can swim in it. Hopefully, I hope those lily pads don't interfere too much. I don't think they do. And of course, if they do, you can always delete them. It's not a hard thing to do. So if you ever have any issues with my builds, you can always change them. Do what you got to do with them. They're certainly your playground, so to speak. But I had a good time making this garden. My favorite part was actually making the bathrooms, but this is easily my second favorite part. I really enjoyed putting it together and making it look really nice, making it look like a place that you'd want to visit. But hopefully when you use this, you won't, like I've been saying, how there isn't a whole lot to do. Like, you can basically use the hot springs, go swimming, or watch TV. That's basically what you can do in this lot. But it is a hotel, so presumably you wouldn't just stay here all day. You would also go on walks in the park, or you would go on the ski slopes or go mountain climbing. You wouldn't just stay at the Ryokan the whole time. So it's not really a big deal. There isn't a whole lot to do. I also added a laundry room because I had a whole extra space that I didn't know what to do with. So if you felt like doing laundry, if you were at this place long enough to accumulate laundry, you could do laundry. So that's good. So this is me like looking at the lights, and I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the lights in The Sims are really big, like too big, like unrealistically big. Like, this is the shortest wall height that I can have, and like the lights, like oh, I don't know, maybe I think that way just because I'm short, because I'm really short. I'm just under 5 feet by like millimeters. So like the ceilings always seem super far away, and like I could never touch like the lights on the ceiling. But like I look at these lights and I go to like sim height level, and I'm just like, I'd be hitting my head on that, right? And so like I shrink those lights, but I have that issue with a lot of lights in The Sims. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. Oh, and so I put that bulletin board thingy with the lights there. What you will often see in Ryokans is they actually have little rosters by the desks that tell the workers at the Ryokan who is staying where. And so it's kind of like a VIP list sort of thing. Like, and you'll see that in the Nancy Drew game as well. That there's a list, and they'll tell you who their guests are. Because usually it's not like this big budget, huge, fancy hotel. It's usually like smaller, and there's like a limited number of rooms. And so they'll actually know their guests. They'll get to know their guests personally, and they'll know what room they're staying in. Kind of like a bed and breakfast. But that board on the wall is supposed to be that sort of roster. And this is me trying to get creative. I can't stand that when you use platforms, the columns don't adjust to the wall height. You'll see that I tried several times, and not just here, but also in the bathroom, I tried to use the columns, and the columns stick up through the ceiling, and I can't stand that. It's because this whole portion is on a platform, so it doesn't shorten to accommodate for the new wall height. Also, what I've noticed is when you like adjust the height of like your platform in a room, and like you make a new room, like suddenly it resets and you have to put it back down again. I've had to do that several times. When I was making those separate stalls in the bathroom, like the floor would suddenly jump up and I'd have to push it back down to its normal size. But anyway, concerning the columns, I either went away with columns or I found something to stick on the wall to kind of act like a column. And I used those Jungle Adventure stone things. So now I'm trying to figure out what furniture to put in the rooms. And just trying to find colors and styles that go together. I had a lot of fun just experimenting with all the different color variants and such. But all the rooms are the same. All the rooms have the same furniture, just different colorways. I got to use all the different colorways of the beds, so that's fun. But I haven't quite figured out the arrangement of the room yet. I'm going to change it, and it's going to get much better. I will mention this. Tomorrow, the new Supernatural Stuff Pack comes out, and I am interested in playing it, but as you probably know, I am unemployed, and so I feel really uncomfortable buying games right now. But I would be willing to buy the game if I had some sort of feedback from my viewership. Oh, and there's that fan. I might not do it here. But I linger on that particular fan in the catalog, I think, so that you can see it, see the name that's attached to it. If I don't, I will list it. I will list it in the description. I might do that anyway, because I don't know if I want to sit here and actively watch for it, and worry about my commentary not being very good. And there's me trying to figure out what else to put in the room, because the room seems kind of empty. And I figured, I'll put a TV in. But I rearranged the room altogether. Yeah, that's me rearranging it. It's so much better the way that I do it here. What was I saying? I started talking about the custom content thing. What was I talking about before? Oh, Stuff Pack. If you guys want me to play Stuff Pack, if you're interested in watching me play the Stuff Pack, please let me know in the comments. You can, or if somebody does choose, if somebody chooses to support me on Patreon, it's a link in the description, and it's just $4.99 a month. That would be helpful, and if somebody decided to support me that way, I would certainly buy the pack and play it for you guys on stream. But if you can't do that, which is totally fine, I completely understand. I'm unemployed myself, and I certainly couldn't support, I can't support any of the people I watch right now, so it's no big deal. But if you'd still like to watch me play the pack, please let me know in the comments. Say, hey, I would love to watch you play Supernatural Pack. And I'll buy it. It's only $10, but I just want some feedback. I just want to know if that's something that you guys are interested in, and I'd be happy to buy that. So yeah, just write in the comments below if you would like me to play the Supernatural Pack. We'll do something fun. I'll probably play with a spellcaster. I might play with myself sim, or I might play with a Harry Potter character. I was considering like making Luna Lovegood and playing her and making her a ghost hunter. I just thought that might be kind of cute, but we'll see. If we don't do that, I would like to build in the Sims during my Sims live stream. I want to try some build challenges. I really enjoy the little Simsy build challenges. And the wheel challenge. That's kind of what I did when I was sick. I was sick over the weekend, so I didn't have the stamina to really record a voiceover of anything, so I made a speed build of a build challenge. I did the wheel challenge, that little Simsy has. And I did that, and I had a great time. That video should be coming out. I think I'm gonna publish that video next week. I think I might want to do like a build challenge every week. And so that'll be next week's. But this week, I might do, if I don't do anything with the Supernatural pack, I will do a build challenge on Thursday. So you can kind of see the process of that and how horrible I am at building. Like the end product is really good, but my thought process through building is really quite difficult. I'm very indecisive. You don't see it really in my speed builds because I will pause the recording and you'll see jump cuts and stuff of, I just completely cut stuff out of the video because I am so indecisive. But that is, that won't be the case when I play live, when I build live, and you'll see. I don't understand how little Simsy can just put a couple of blocks together and boom, it's a house. I'm just like, how did you make that shape? How did you know where the rooms were gonna go? Like, I can't think that far ahead. But yeah, so that'll be fun. I would like to do more build challenges. I have a whole save that I started for my build challenges, and so I randomize not only I randomize what kind of build it is, not just how to build it. I randomize whether or not it's a rental or residential or public venue. We'll randomize what world it's in, what lot it's on, and in addition to the normal stuff of how many Sims live there, and what is the style, and what's the color scheme, and what's the budget, all kinds of stuff. So the build that I did this weekend, I added a couple more challenges too. Like, because it was on a tiny lot, I wanted to make it a tiny house. It's actually a small home, but still, it still meets those requirements. And I also challenged myself. There's another challenge that people do, that they build the first house they see on Google search. Like, they'll search, like I did, Mediterranean, and I built the first house that came up on Google. It's not exactly, but it was heavily inspired by that picture, and it was tough at first, but I got it to work. So yeah, I've been sick, not feeling well, so I'm gonna take a breath for a second. Yeah, I had a bacon grease fried grilled cheese sandwich on Friday, and my stomach has not been happy since then. So I actually have Subway today. I got some Subway because simple carbs, easy to digest, so I'll be having that for supper, and hopefully my stomach will be okay with that. But yeah, the rest of the video is pretty much just me putting, just copying and pasting essentially. I know that there's like a more efficient way to do that, but it's kind of finicky sometimes, and I just couldn't be bothered, so I just went back and forth, trying to make all the rooms match, just changing the colors and whatnot. I did that, and I don't remember lingering over that mirror, so I think I will put that in the description. But I believe we'll be coming up to my screenshots soon. I don't actually know what minute mark that's at. I don't know. Should I start saying my outro at like 2 minutes? I don't know. I'm still new at this, so I still don't know. Is it 2 minutes? I don't remember. But there's like 30 seconds left. And that's me showing you everything that I just did because I cut it all out. And then I'm making the kitchen here. Putting that together. Trying to find cabinets and not really finding cabinets that work just because it's on a platform, so the wall is smaller, so there really isn't room for cabinets. So I just settle on shelves. And then finding stuff to put on the shelves was kind of annoying. There really isn't any great clutter items to go on shelves. I should have went into the build by menu. I mean, the build by. I should have went in the by debug menu. That would have been better. But I think, how many screenshots do I have? I don't know. Maybe I should say my intro at the 1 minute mark? I don't know. I still feel like I have a ton to go. Is there anything I forgot to say? I don't know. And that's me trying to figure out what to put on that wall. It took me a little while. I go back and forth between the same thing over and over. But we are coming up to the end, so I will say my outro in a couple seconds. Okay. So I would like to thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of the video. If you liked the video, click the like button. If you want more videos like this, click subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Also, check out my Patreon, link in the description. I also live stream here on YouTube. Join me every day except Wednesdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except on Saturdays when I stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I stream The Sims, adventure games, puzzle games, and reading Harry Potter on Saturdays. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a magical day.